Pregame.com.
Pregame.tv, I've got an alert going on my phone, which means it's time to get down to the brass tacks here with teasers. Monday Night Football, Atlanta Falcons. I have to say, the Atlanta Falcons, I was on them in the first quarter. I was on them to score first. I really thought I'd get the trifecta, and they blew it. They blew it last week. I'm coming right back on them. I'm going to be teasing the Atlanta Falcons this week. Down on Monday Night Football, and they're playing the New York Jets. And what's interesting about this is I'm not even sure I have an opinion on the Atlanta Falcons in this game at the current point spread of -9. But, Brian, you're not surprised I'm teasing at all, are you?
No, this is a key spot that you would do that. You know, we talked about last week about how Atlanta's done at home, and, you know, they come up short against New England. Tough situation, though. This is a must-win situation. I hate betting teams that are must-win situations. But if you're a teaser person, this is the kind of game that you tease. You know,
we talk about Atlanta, and they're money off a loss. They're great off a loss. Mike Smith and Matty Ice always went off a loss, but now they're off 2 losses. So they didn't win off the last
loss.
Twice
as good off of 2 losses.
Well, we don't know because they never lose. They never lose the second game. So now we're in a little bit of uncharted territory. Got to be a little bit concerned about their stud wide receivers. One of them can't seemingly walk straight. You know, he's injured. Tony Gonzalez playing out of his mind. A lot of injuries on defense. But my biggest concern is that what has happened to Matt Ryan. He did that, the fantasy football commercial.
Yeah.
Where
somebody's shoulders or.
That's the dumbest commercial. I could never understand what people are saying.
I thought it was just me.
And I'm like, what is she by Juba or something? And it's funny how they pick. I'll take Richardson, and the guy's like, oh, I want to trade. And what's funny is there was a trade, and it's not that you want to trade for Richardson. You wanted to get rid of him when he was with the Browns because he was awful with the Browns. Probably going to do a lot better with the Colts. I'm digressing, but Matt Ryan. What's funny is they're all over Atlanta's head coach Smith. You got to take the points, and it's 4th and 2 from the 6. I think it's a great call. I loved him going for it, yeah. but then Matt Ryan he throws it like 20 feet up over his wide receiver's head. One of the worst passes I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I love it when they're aggressive in the opponent, deep in the opponent's side of the field. They got to go all the way to the other side. In fact, in the Monday Night Football game, I had Miami points under 21. They fumbles at the 1-yard line going in late in the game. New Orleans does
38-17.
Yep.
Right? That's better for you.
And I actually, at the first, I'm thinking, oh, he fumbled. And then they just fell on it at the 1-yard line. I go, that's actually good.
I win.
I was rooting for them to get the ball back at that point because they're on their 1 or 2 yard line.
People don't realize that when you're like 4th and goal from the 1, you could take a knee, and that's worth like a 1.5. Just sticking the other team on the 1-yard line in terms of field position. And so when they kick the field goal, people are like, well, the field goal's worth 3 points and the touchdown's worth 7. What they don't realize, really the field goal's worth an incremental extra 1.5.
Yeah.
And the touchdown's worth 5.5 points. And obviously, you're going to make the touchdown more than half the time. It's just such a terrible call. And yet you see coaches do that all the time. And the media bashes you if you go for it. They'll never bash you for lining up and trying the field goal, even though it cost Atlanta the game against, in my opinion, against the Fish, Miami. It cost Green Bay the game against the Bengals. Here's teams up 3, kicking field goals, 4th and 1. Ridiculous stuff. But I do think with Atlanta, I'm not confident they can cover this game -9. I am very confident that they can win the game. And if they win the game, they should cover the -2.5 teaser. So I really think that it's the way to go. And what I really like about this is I feel protected. Even if I have the wrong side with Atlanta, it's Monday Night Football. Where do you think the money's going to come after Denver destroyed Oakland by 7? Not destroyed, beat Oakland by 16. And then the next week, we get a Monday night blowout in the Bayou. The same bettors who've been cashing on Monday night are going to come back saying Monday night's always a blowout, favorite and over. That's what they're going to bet, right?
And the Jets looked terrible last week.
Geno Smith,
yeah,
no good. Dub V, I got to say, Dub V, excellent call on the West Virginia game last week against Oklahoma State. You did phenomenal. But this Geno Smith being a successful quarterback in the NFL, I think you might want to take that opinion and maybe switch hands with it and bring it back the other side because I saw some things that I don't think I've ever seen a high school quarterback try to do, and here he's
But they have no other answer. They have no otother answer. And you know, W has done great. And we talked in the other video about West Virginia. A lot of good posters in the forums that just do a terrific job, and they don't get enough credit. And you know, guys, we read them. You're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Absolutely, I think that's great. Let me make this official, and I'm going to talk about what we're going to tease Atlanta with. All right, I'm going to do a wheel around here. I'm going to wrap Atlanta down. You got to get them down when you tease them. Got to get them down to -2.5. If it takes a 6-point teaser, 6.5-point teaser, whatever it takes, you've got to bring it below the 3 to 2.5. What do I tease it with? I'm going to go ahead and do no-brainers. I'm just going to take good basic strategy teasers where I'm going to go through the 3 and through the 7 in the NFL. That means I'm going to pick up my Tennessee Titans here from +2.5 up to +8.5. I'm also going to pick up the Indianapolis Colts, same thing, from 2.5 up through the key 3 to 7 quarter up to +8.5. And of course, I can look at Bryan Leonard's Green Bay Packers -7, bring those guys down to -0.5 or -1. All very, very good teasers, legs to put in with this play in Atlanta. What I really like about this, I don't even like Atlanta. Still doing my work on this game. Maybe I'll have something on the total. But it wouldn't surprise me if I wouldn't have open teasers coming in, and then it inflates up to 9.5. 10 start popping up. I can play +10 on these Jets. Play for a freebie middle. Just need Atlanta to win by anywhere from 3 to 10 points. Cash them. I think it's an excellent way to go to have a portfolio built such that when we come back next week and we talk about the Monday Night Football game, we can say, yeah, we're sitting good. We got Atlanta -2.5. You like it, Brian?
I like it, and we did same thing last week with the Saints. So we knew where the line was going, and that's the key. And you've always been very good at knowing where these lines go. We knew when the Saints opened up. I was talking to Matt Yeomans. Why are they opening up less than 7? 7 is the correct number. And then everybody and their brother betting all over the Saints.
Bad number.
You can make that mistake in a college football game in the mid-Saturday. You cannot make that mistake as a bookmaker on a Monday Night Football game. And I give these guys all the credit in the world. We joke once in a while about the bad lines, but hell, we make bad lines too. It happens. But if you're going to make one line all week long where you got to get it right, it's got to be Monday Night Football.
Same with the Oregon games. They keep opening Oregon 33, 34, and you blink, and it winds up going all the way up, run up to 39, and then Cal scores to cut the deficit to 39, and then to add insult to injury to the books, the idiot kicker goes ahead and hooks the extra point late in the day in the typhoon, and it lands 39. So they basically every bet that came in on Oregon they lost, and the last minute bets that came in on Cal went ahead and pushed. So
it's right now for those who are betting early. Your big teams, your Louisville, your Oregon, your Baylor, teams of that sort that are going to put up a lot of points. Public loves to bet those games. The wise guys are getting in there as soon as these lines come out, knowing. Last week I laid 33 with Oregon, went all the way up to 39.
You had yourself a teaser.
I knew where it was going.
Yeah.
And I didn't hedge back because I don't do that for the most part. But you know where the line's going. Put it out there.
Well, especially with the key is the success that the Monday night favorites have had, the success that these big college football favorites have had. Now we know because everyone who's been betting those has been winning. The people who've been fading these line moves have been losing, and so they have less money to go ahead and fade back. So I know VR was not able to make it this week. You are going to be on videos next week on a different bad time, correct?
I'm actually switching to Wednesdays, but I will not be here next week at all because I have a trip planned, and I decided to start at Wednesday before I realized I was switching to Wednesday.
Any kind of special trip?
Gambling.
Gambling? Good.
What other trips do you make during football season?
That's what I want to hear. Trips or maybe a Thursday night football game. Very, very good. Well, hopefully we get VR back here. I certainly hope to be back next week, and unless I get like a message like the USC coach, I'm sure I will be. So stay tuned with us. Pregame.tv. Do also check out the videos. Marco D'Angelo, Ken Thompson doing a great job each and every week breaking down games. I know Ken personally went something like, I hate to exaggerate, something like 96-2 on his college football last week. Okay, he went like 10-1, so he really had a phenomenal weekend. So Ken has the hot hand. Marco is always rock solid, and check those guys out here later in the week. Pregame.tv.